father was born in northern Jersey, right outside of New York City. And then in around 15 or so, high school, moved down here when my grandfather took a job at the shipyard. Graduated early from Mitchville and then and went to CNC. He wanted to be a lawyer. That's what my dad originally went to college for. And then I think it was a conversation with my grandfather who said he wouldn't pay for law school, and he decided to switch majors at that point, and he switched to accounting.
And I think his plan was to do a year at CNC and get the heck out of town as quickly as possible, but roots grew quicker than he expected, and soon after became ingrained in the community, and the rest is history from there.
In my mind, there are 3 ingredients that you need to be a successful community. One of those is to have a great health system, another to have a great university, and a third to have a great community bank. And he's had a meaningful hand in all 3.
Alan genuinely believes that success carries responsibility. And his involvement with Riverside, it was never about recognition for Alan. It was more just a sense of duty that he has.
He's one of the best known and most respected people across the Commonwealth.
Well, I first joined PB Mayors in October of 2003. And it was actually several years later before I first had my real personal experience with Alan and really came to better understand him as a leader. My wife and I got pregnant, or she got pregnant in 2010. 2 weeks after our twins were born, she ended up in the hospital. It was the second day when I got a phone call from Alan. And Alan called me and he said, "Harvey, I heard your wife was in the hospital. What's going on?" So I explained to him everything, and then he said, "How can I help?" And I just broke down. And Alan looked at me and he said 2 things. He said, first, he said, "You know, I'm on the board of Riverside, and they got a lot of doctors there." And he said, "If things don't get better within the next 24 hours, he said, I want you to call me because I'm going to make some call." He said, the second thing he said was, "I want you to go home, and I want you to focus on taking care of your family and getting them better. And I don't want to see you again at work until that happens." It was 2 months later before I came back to work. I was just an employee who needed help and needed compassion, and Alan stepped in then. You're always presented with other job opportunities, something bigger, better. And it all came down for me. I would always ask myself, where was I going to go and work for a company where the CEO cared about their employees as much as Alan Witt did his? And I was never able to answer that question. I want to say thank you to Alan for everything you've done for me, my family, the PB Mayors family, and for Hampton Roads. And on behalf of PB Mayors, Alan, we celebrate you, we love you, we miss you, we are so proud of you.
My dad has the gift of gab. He likes to talk. A lot of times when we would go out to eat, my mother, we would know that it was going to be a 20-minute extradition time to get from, sitting at the dinner table to making it out of the restaurant.
Alan will be honest. He is a very genuine, authentic, and honest person. And sometimes you don't want to hear what Alan has to say, but he's going to tell you anyway.
He was simply willing to hear a multitude of perspectives. I don't think Alan thinks that compromise is a bad word.
He had a very, very good wit about him. No pun intended with that. But I just really enjoyed working with him and watching him and learning from him.
I think Alan's leadership style, is one that he wants the best people in the right place, whether it was in his work and his firm or whether it's at Riverside. Although you could argue that, his choice for CEO, as he was board chairman, sometimes might have been a little questionable. But I'm thankful that he saw something in me that wanted me to become the CEO.
Alan has devoted his life to this Hampton Roads community. He's formed services on many boards and commission. City Council of Newport News, the
Industrial Development Authority,
United Way,
Chamber of Commerce,
People to People,
the Rotary Club,
CNU,
City Council,
Riverside,
Greater Peninsula Now,
Beer to Freedom,
Town Bank,
Peninsula Community Foundation,
and the BRAC Committee.
Virginia Transportation Board.
Friends of Jefferson Lab.
I think that one of the distinguishing characteristics of Alan is that he really cares about the community. And because of that, he knew that growth for Riverside was essential to the health care, not just to the health of the community, but to the overall well-being of the community. And he had a vision for growing Riverside that he not only put into place, but he made work.
So Alan, as the chairman of the board, helped us grow considerably. And I think part of that is how he approached the role. And you know, a lot of people would see Riverside as a health system, and so they would only think, okay, how do they provide health in the community? And other people on the board would look at it and say, okay, it's a business. It employs 10,000 people, and so they would look at it more from the business angle. And then there are those on the board who say, it's a community asset. It is here for the community. And Alan had the unique ability to take all three of those things and put them together.
I believe that Alan's service on the Riverside Board can never be truly appreciated. The number of years that he gave to Riverside in this community is phenomenal. And as a result, we've since changed the rules that no one could serve that as long as he did, continuously.
When I made my first gifts to the foundation, he was the only board member who sought me out and thanked me. That was special.
He is truly a great citizen who's lived a life of significance and will continue to live a life of significance for quite some time.
One thing I like about Mr. Witt was that he is very good at saying no when he doesn't want to do something, because I tried for years to get him to be a part of city council longer than he was, and to even run for mayor, but he wanted no parts of it. But I think he would have been great.
When you think of Alan and his philanthropy and his ability, it ties back to his not only time and money, but it's the combination of the two. Then my last comment would be, is Alan really retired?
Do you really think Alan is retired?
I think he'll retire when he comes to terms with wanting to retire. I think that he would get bored very quickly and not know what to do with himself.
But I think he's more retired right now than I ever thought that he would be.
One of the things that it takes to be successful is to have a partner that is right along your side and assisting you in that public service. I know Debbie has been a tremendously important part of Alan's accomplishments.
Debbie is a huge part of Alan's success, and he will readily tell you that she has worked with him over the years, and they are such a strong team.
Debbie is clearly the wind beneath his wings, and Alan I'm sure he would say that he would not be where he is without Debbie. Debbie is an incredibly passionate and rabid football fan, so Alan and Debbie make it we invite them up to the president's box to watch our football games. Alan does his thing, and he's social and engaged with others, and Debbie is cheering on.
I believe my parents actually met through a blind date shortly after they had both graduated. I think they went to Dino's Pizza, still in existence today. I think my dad ordered the fried smelt, which really impressed my mom. I don't know how or why she went on a second date, but it happened.
I know that Alan absolutely loves being a grandfather and all of his grandchildren. When I see Alan, he immediately starts telling me about what his grandkids are doing.
All three of us have children.
Abigail, 12.
Asher, 8. Eliza, 6.
Thomas, 4.
And Callan, 4.
I'm so glad Alan is getting this recognition. He has worked tirelessly for people in this community and people across the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Alan has already been Citizen of the Year by the Daily Press, by the Chamber of Commerce, but it's certainly fitting for him to be Citizen of the Year recognized by Riverside Health System.
I think despite the 20-plus hours that he put into the community on top of the 60-plus hours at BB Mayor's, he never missed a wrestling match. He never missed a football game. He was always there at every school assembly. He also found time to ensure that he was there for us every step of the way.
He always gave something to strive for. He instilled a respect for the community and a desire to achieve maybe better than we would shoot for ourselves. This isn't the first accolade ceremony that we've been to in his honor, and it probably won't be the last.
Even into adulthood, I know, if I pick up the phone and call my dad, I don't know how many times he would even step out of meetings to answer the phone, and I'm proud of him and excited for this award. I love you, Dad.
I love you, Dad.
Love you, Dad.